Good morning, everyone. We are walking. That's what we're doing. The question is, where are we walking? Well, we're just getting on to the beginning of 7th Avenue here. I guess I should have cleared my throat before I started the camera. We are going to walk. We're going to be walking down 7th Avenue. We're going to walk all the way into Sunset Park. But this time I'm going to give you guys a nice little tour of Sunset Park, of the actual park itself. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make our way back in this direction along 6th Avenue. So it's going to be like a 2-in-1 walk. And if you're wondering the distance, it's going to come in perfectly at 6 miles. This is going to be a 6-mile walk. When we get into the park, we'll probably walk a little bit slower pace, just to give you guys a look at the park and some of the views. I've mentioned this in the past, as one of the highest points in Brooklyn as far as elevation, so you get some crazy, incredible views of New York City. And Sunset Park is also a neighborhood that I was born in and grew up in. I went to school there. And maybe we will get a good view of my elementary school, PS 169, which I know the last couple of times I've passed by there in recent memory was getting a renovation, so they had a lot of scaffolding around it, so you couldn't get like a good look at it and stuff. So we'll see what the deal is today. Temperature right now is 70 degrees. It is perfect out, and the sprinklers are on in the golf course here to my right. I'm saying that because I just noticed them. You can't see them because if I point the camera, you're not going to see anything. But I can kind of see the water spraying around. The first part of the walk here, we're going to be along the golf course. Yeah. This is the 3. Yeah. Somebody just asked me, yeah, you must know the camera model. This is the, he wanted to know if this was the Pocket 3 out. You know what I was going to say? I was going to say this is the shit version anyway, but yeah, this is the DJI Pocket 3. I love my DJI Pocket 2. The 4, as far as I know, the 4, as of the moment I'm recording this, still hasn't been approved in the United States by the FCC. But I could be wrong. I mean, they could have did it like a week ago, and I haven't checked. So but yeah, that's the new camera. I won't be getting that one, so I mean, I probably will eventually, but not anytime soon. I mean, look how long it took me to get the 3. I mean, when the 3 came out, I had just bought the 2, and I used the 2 for pretty much 3 years before I bought this camera. So Very nice sunlight. If I didn't mention, it is about, I'll say it's like around 7 a.m. right now. It's about an hour, I want to say an hour from sunrise. So it's early. This beautiful landscape. That's all I'll do. I'll give you guys a look at this landscape for a little bit here. As the sun is coming up over Brooklyn. Very nice. Nobody's playing golf yet, though. I don't think the golf course officially opens until, I think it's 7 a.m. So I'm starting to see some people at the first green, so probably just opened. Trivia question. That's the hospital across the street there. If anybody, before I give out the answer, knows what the original name of that hospital is. Right now it's called Maimonides. It is one of the hospitals bought up by Maimonides. That's, I don't want to say bought up, but you know, run by the entire campus. It, over the years, at one point did close down, but then it became SUNY Downstate. But originally it was called Victory Memorial. Back when I was young. Victory Memorial. Got some runners. We've walked around the golf course before. You can find some of those walks in my channel. The golf course goes around one lap. It's about two and a quarter miles around. It'll take you down, as you can see, the 7th Avenue side, then it goes down 86th Street, and then it'll wrap around 14th Avenue and Poly Place until it laps to where we started the walk. So it's like two and a quarter miles. I think exactly it's like 2.2 miles. So a lot of people, including myself, actually either walk or run around this thing. It's a nice track because, you know, you don't have to stop for traffic at any time. And then, of course, to my left, you see there's like these bike lanes that were just made like in the last, I would say this is now a year old, these bike lanes. It's kind of weird. It's like a bike and a walking lane at times. Like you see the green is the bike lane, which is very wide, by the way. They made a really wide biking lane and then a walking buffer zone. And the reason they did that was because of accidents, believe it or not. There was a lot of drag racing and accidents, and there's been a few deaths along this route. And so they did a study. So their study, they basically noticed that if they were to narrow the road, it would obviously force traffic to travel much slower. which it has. I'll tell you, it is a lot. Traffic travels much slower on this road now, and it's easier to cross. But what they did was they created the bike lanes, and then they pushed the parking lane out even more. So they basically took out you can see how much space they took out. And then they made the 7th Avenue, 2-lane, much narrower. So that is what that is all about, in case you're wondering. All right, we're finally about to get into some street with property streets with residential and commercial stuff coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross over here. And then I'm going to cross over here. All right, so now we're in that part of the walk where we can be inside the streets and look at things, right? Figure I'll stay on the side where the sun is. I mean, I would much rather be in the shade. I mean, it's not hot, but it's nice and cool in the shade. But the lighting is better over here to look at stuff, so. So you'll get to see the grade. I like to call it the gradient of quality. You'll see how the real estate changes as we get further down into Sunset Park. If you're wondering what neighborhood we're in Dyker Heights, at the very west end of Dyker Heights. Bay Ridge is just right over the overpass on the next block. I got a little kitty over here rolling around in the grass. I actually got 2 cats. They look friendly. I don't know if I got them on camera because it was they were kind of behind the wall a little further over. Got a gas station. There's a gas station on the corner of 82nd Street. I am going to have to cross right now because there is a the traffic pattern is kind of strange over here. You guys are going to see that. We're going to cross back and forth a couple of times. Looks like they just put these scaffolding up. So here we are at 80th Street, and guess what? I am gonna call off the mileage. This is the first mile. We have just completed mile 1, 6 miles. We're gonna go 6 miles, so we just reached the mile 1 marker. See all these cars coming off of 287, getting onto they're getting onto Fort Hamilton Parkway right over here. Now I want to take a different, so there's two right over here. There are two 7th Avenues. I like to call this the 7th Avenue northbound, and then there's a 7th Avenue southbound. And I want to get onto 7th Avenue southbound. I'm going to have to run this one. Oh, no, I don't think so. 5 seconds, 4, 3, I should be good. I want to get onto the southbound 7th Avenue. Because I've walked this before. I mean, the last time we were on 7th Avenue a while back, we walked on that side. I want to walk on this side. So what this is right here, this is to get over the highway, the expressway. So the way 7th Avenue works in this area is you have one direction going. It's really, geographically, one is heading west, sort of westbound, and the other one's heading sort of eastbound, but I just call it north and south. I call this one south, that's all. It's just my own personal preference. But if you're going this way, you're going westbound because you're going to eventually go over the bridge. Arizona Bridge. and that's considered going westbound. As you can see, the sign up there says Verrazano Bridge West. All right, here we are. They have a bike lane over there on the other side of that little divider wall. In case you're wondering, this is 77th Street, so we are in the 70s right now as far as streets. And as far as air temperature, I think I told you guys it's 70 degrees out right now. It's supposed to get really warm. It's going to get hot today. It's not going to be warm. It's going to be hot today. It's going to hit 90 degrees today. So it's going to be a hot one. I'm walking a really good pace right now, and plus this route has been really good as far as traffic lights. I haven't had to stop or anything like that too much. So we're just moving along. This is Bay Ridge Parkway right here. If you remember during my thunderstorm walk recently, this is where we walked. We were on here. We actually came down from this direction. This is a long light, so we're going to be standing here for a little bit. Right after I said, you know, we've been doing good with traffic lights, plus we get stopped. So, all right, here we go. That wasn't so bad. You know what I'll do for you guys? We'll take you in the bike path now. I'm going to give you guys different looks. And I'm going to walk against the bike traffic so I can see the bikes coming at me. See, that's always a safe tip I tell people. If they're going to take a bike lane on foot, just make sure you're walking towards bike traffic so that you can see it. All right? If you saw that guy that just passed us, it's not good if you got your back faced to these bikers. That's how most people get hit by bikes. They don't see the bike coming, so. This was also the route of last year's, I did the flash flood storm. We actually walked right through this, and it was all flooded in here. They got all kinds of traffic in here, huh? We saw 2 scooters go by us. We just had the guy with the bike go by the other way, and now we just saw a moped. Showing you guys some of the property over here. Now, if you're wondering, does 7th Avenue ever come back together? It does. It's coming up. We're going to be crossing back over, but it's 7th Avenue's, the lanes are going to meet up, and then it's going to be just one avenue. So we're not always going to be walking along the highway here. All right, I'm gonna be crossing here. Ovington is a one-way street on my left, and on my right is a two-way street. I don't know why that guy's beeping at me. I mean, I'm well across the street. All right, we're gonna get onto the sidewalks again because we're getting ready to cross. So I wanna be able to use a crosswalk correctly. I'll tell you, it is, if you've never been down here, it gets really confusing. The intersections down here are just absolutely confusing if you've never been down here. I've seen people get lost over here. They're like, which way am I supposed to go? '68th Street. This is the Leif Erikson Park area. And we gotta cross here. We have to cross here. You cannot walk this way. This takes you actually onto the highway. So this is where the 7th Avenue This is where the 7th Avenue splits down here. This is, you see these cars right here. They're going on to the side that we were just walking. So right over here is where it all becomes one avenue again over here. And I got the sun in your eyes. You can see these intersections are crazy. I mean, they're all over the place. '65th Street. Big intersection over here. Very dangerous intersection, by the way. You got cars coming from all directions. You gotta watch. All right, we are in the Sunset Park section of Brooklyn. We are in a different neighborhood now. World Harvest. It's an old church building that's been around for a long time. Still sits here on the corner of 64th and 7th. Then this right here on my right side is another Maimonides hospital center, clinic. I should be on the other side, by the way, because the lighting is really bad over here. So I'm going to switch at the next corner. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's just jaywalk it. Yeah, that side is really dark because of the shade, so. All right, it's gonna start getting just a little bit noisy in this area over here. And if I didn't mention it, I did put it up on the screen, but we hit the 2-mile mark at 65th Street. So we're in mile 2 right now. Say we were about 16 blocks from Sunset, from the actual park, Sunset Park. So we're gonna go into the park, we're gonna walk around the park, and then we're gonna come out of the park, and then we're gonna walk back along 6th Avenue. Now 6th Avenue's got some really nice walk-up brownstones. So brownstones, brickstones, you know, those kind of buildings. Not everything's a brownstone. '60th Street. All right, let's get back across the street now. The buildings are a bit taller now, so the light should be better over here. No sunlight above us, so. Here we go. This is better. It's much better than before. We are right now walking uphill right now to the highest point of Sunset Park. We will eventually get there when we get inside the park. People are either going to work or school. Remember, we started the walk just a little bit before 7 a.m., so it is still really early out. So all these people you see are either going to school or work. Look at this building. I mean, in the sun, the sun makes it look even bigger. Hold on. My camera decides it wants to work when I want it to work. (57th Street). The park, we're going to be getting into the park over at the central entrance, which is on 42nd Street. You can see more people are walking on this side than the sunny side because obviously they probably want to stay cool. Like myself. We've been walking for 43 minutes. And we are still walking uphill, by the way. This is the post office. It is called the Bay Ridge Station. Bay Ridge Station, zip code 11220, but it is definitely not inside Bay Ridge. We are in Sunset Park. A lot of these people walking, you could tell they just woke up. It kind of looks like they just woke up. They're kind of, it's like The Walking Dead. Looks like some tree damage across the street. Probably left over from the last storm we had, the storm that I walked through. I had mentioned it earlier, not earlier, but like on a couple of times after that storm, we had a lot of tree damage. I'm gonna cross over. That storm had a lot of wind. If you watched that video, yeah, you saw a lot of wind in that video, in that walk I did. I didn't talk much about that walk, but I'll tell you, I got beat up in that walk. But my trusty umbrella, that umbrella, I joke, I call it, that's the penguin umbrella right there, man, because that umbrella is is more a weapon than an umbrella. I mean, that umbrella, you guys know how old that umbrella is? The umbrella that I use on my walks, I bought in 2018. That's how old that umbrella is. That's the difference. You know, people say, why would you spend $40 on an umbrella? Well, there's a difference. I mean, it's 8 years old. It doesn't have a tear in it. The ends haven't ripped off yet. Everything's in great condition on that umbrella. It's been through everything. Every storm that I've walked on this channel, I had that umbrella. So, it's a very good umbrella. But I got beat up in that last storm. It was just a lot of wind, and I got caught flat-footed. Normally, I don't get caught flat-footed, but the storm accelerated a lot faster than I thought it was going to do. And I wasn't in the position I wanted to be in. And the first part of our walk, I was caught in a crosswind, and it was just, I was miserable. I wanted to cross back over and give you guys a look at this EMS station over here. There go the ambulances. If any of you wonder why I call the EMS, I guess goes to show how old I am. Back in the day, they were called EMS, Emergency Medical Service. They used to be white and blue. Eventually, they just merged with the fire department. So a lot of us still call it EMS. This is St. Agatha. This church right here on the corner. My cousins, I had cousins when they were young, they went to St. Agatha Catholic School. They actually lived right over here. The whole family lived in this area growing up. As a matter of fact, we just passed 49th Street. That was where my cousins lived, up the block between 6th and 7th. If you want to know where I live, so I was born in Sunset Park, we're gonna be walking right past my very first home, which is on 6th Avenue, right up here on 48th, 47th Street. I'll show you guys later on when we're coming back. I'll stop. But my parents' first apartment was on 6th Avenue for a short time. And then we moved to 8th Avenue over by my grandmother's house, which is on. My grandmother lived on 42nd Street between 7th and 8th, and we were just right down the block on the corner of 8th. So. Sosa's Deli and Grill. Sosa. You guys remember Scarface? Sosa. Sosa. All right, we're getting close to the park here, guys. Let's see if they took the scaffolding down in front of PS 169 when we get over there. I'm gonna get across the street. This walk has been like back and forth across the street, so. All right, here we go. And I'll tell you guys in a second if the scaffolding is still up around the school. It is. Damn. Oh, it looks like it looks like they took it down on the side street, but it's still there though. This building had a massive fire years ago. Look at it, it's still burnt out, and it's just been sitting like this for years. There's actually video of the fire out there on the internet. You can find it on YouTube. It was a big fire many years ago. And they've been trying to sell the building for years, and no one will buy the building. Now, there goes PS 169. I missed the top. I mean, they redid the top. You could tell they redid the top, but they used to be like it used to look like a castle on the top, you know? It was nice. I don't know why they ever... I wonder if they got rid of the little faces that used to be up there too. There used to be like little like faces up there and stuff. It was kind of weird, but like sculptured, you know, faces and stuff. I'm trying to see through the scaffolding. I think they got rid of it. Why would you get rid of that? That was very nice. Like, I don't understand. It's now just all flat brick up there. Maybe it was no. Maybe it was offensive. I don't know. You look at old pictures of PS 169. It had a very beautiful top to it, and they just totally killed it. So here it is, Sunset Park. And by the way, we have just hit mile 3. And I'm going to take you guys in the park now. This is where I grew up. I got a lot of pictures. You'd be surprised. I got a lot of childhood pictures in this park that I'm not going to show you. This is the pool, which is being renovated. That's why there's fences on it. It was supposed to be done this year, I believe. Let's see what the sign says. Now it says fall of 2026. So yeah, it was supposed to be done now already. There goes 42nd Street. That was my grandmother's block, and then I lived right down the block over there. Now this park goes from 41st Street to 44th Street, and it goes from 7th Avenue up to 5th Avenue. That's how big the park is. So from 41st to 44th, from 7th Avenue to 5th Avenue. And a lot of the park still remains the same as when I was a kid. I mean, it hasn't changed, so. There might be some, you know, like renovations and such, but I'll tell you the one major thing coming up. I think this is still the sprinkler station for the kids. Looks much nicer than it did. You can see how high we are already getting on the park. We're going uphill right now. Yeah, this looks fun. They got like a construction net. That's like a makeshift construction net. So this is the one place that I talk about. Now, by the way, guys, it is like, I want to say it's like 8 in the morning. I mean, it looks like it's like 12 o'clock noon out here. Let me check the time real quick. Let me see what time it is. 1 second here. It is 5 to 8. Man, you would think it's like 12 o'clock. I mean, this park is like a lot of people out here. Now, this is what I was going to say. This right here, the way this is built, this is a viewing platform. I know you can't see anything. That is because back in the day, a lot of those trees that you see in front of us, they weren't big. They were small little trees. And this was a viewing platform. That's why they have this little brick wall and everything. And when those trees are not there, you had a beautiful view of the city and the Statue of Liberty. This is where we watched the Statue of Liberty fireworks when they did the big celebration, when they renovated it. We watched from here, but you can't see nothing over here. So that's like one major difference. We will see the city, though, in a second. In order to see the city, you have to get further out over here, and I'm going to take you guys up. I'm going to take you guys around and then up the hill, and then we're going to exit the park on 6th Avenue. Look at all these dogs. Looks like that dog is not behaving, and she's trying to get the dog to come back. It's like a puppy. So this view is amazing. I'm going to show you guys in a second. That tree there, my father used to sit me up on that tree. I used to climb in that tree. That big tree is much bigger than it was when I was a kid. Look at this little dog. This little dog is a lot of trouble. Both of them. They're just doing what they want. There's a lot of dogs out today, huh? Okay, so here's the view, by the way. Look at this view. There's the Statue of Liberty out there by the crane. If you see the crane and you look a little bit to the right, you will see the Statue of Liberty out there. And then right out here is the view of the city. And you can see all of New York Harbor, Kips Bay, downtown Manhattan. And then when you look at like Fifth Avenue, you're from this level. Here, I'm going to show you guys. From this level, you can see you're like level with the roof of those. Those are like 4-story, 5-story buildings over there on Fifth Avenue. But we're level with the roof. That's how high up we are. This gives a good idea of how high up we are. And this is not even the highest point. The highest point, I'll take you guys, so the highest point is actually over here. Right where that guy is standing over there. The black shirt, that's the highest point right there. I'm going to turn it around. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trees in the way, but kind of get an idea how high up we are. Let's see if I could get one more shot of the city. I'll zoom in so you can kind of see how much of the view of the city has gone away over the years with the trees growing in and stuff like that. So all right, you know what? Let's start walking out of the park. The park is just, the grounds crew is gonna just come in here and clean up the garbage from all the excuse me, from all the slobs that we have in Brooklyn. I just leave their trash all over. Pathetic. Yeah, right. Call me a ranter, I don't care. It's like, take pride in your neighborhood, man. You leave garbage all over the park like that. I know I'll offend somebody. I don't give a shit. There's some really dirtbag people living in the area that just leave their trash everywhere. But you got to give credit to the Parks Department because they will clean it up. They usually do a very good job. And they have to do it over and over again. They'll be out here tomorrow morning doing it over again. All right, this is 6th Avenue. So now we're going to walk back along 6th Avenue. So I'm going to give you guys a tour of 6th Avenue. So we will stop. I will stop and show you guys what my very first home was. My very first existence on planet Earth, where I lived. When we get over there, we're walking towards it right now. The Lau Laundromat. By the way, a lot of the laundromats that you'll see on 6th Avenue, they may be under a different name, but the laundromats have been here for so many years. I'll show you. I know that the laundromat that my mother used to use on the corner is still there. I remember sitting in that laundromat as a kid. Oh my God, I hated it. Having to do laundry, having to go to the laundromat with my mother right off the corner. Show you some of these very nice walk-ups. There's a lot of nice walk-ups on 6th Avenue. You're going to see like the next 2 blocks. I lived in a very nice walk-up. It's on the next corner. I lived in one of these. Not this block, but you'll see when I show you the old house. Like I say, they're very beautiful homes. These look more like your brownstone variety. My childhood home still looks the same. I mean, it looks exactly the same. Same color, everything. I'll be honest with you, I don't even think they've ever done any brickwork or any renovation. The church is still here. I think it's a Lutheran church, I'm not sure. Or is it Presbyterian? And then right across the street over there, that was the very first home I lived in my life. Right on the corner. That tree has gotten a lot bigger. It was a little tree when I was a kid. We lived on the top floor. And everything over here still looks the same. I'll show you guys a laundromat. Laundromat is on the corner over here. You know what? I'll just cross over. Jaywalking over here. So this was the laundromat. It's still the laundromat. It's now, you know, under a different name or whatever. So. And it still looks the same, by the way. And I used to sit in the window right there, like right here. I used to sit in the window. It used to be like there used to be chairs right there. I used to sit in the window. They got like a grocery. They got like a store in there too. They got like a refrigerator where you could buy soda and stuff. The deli across the street is still there. That was our local deli we used to go to. So it's still the same. All right, let's start walking back. '50th Street. We just hit. I think we just hit 4 miles. Let me check. Yep. We just hit 4 miles. We got 2 more miles to go. So we are going to take this to the end of 6th Avenue. You see a lot of laundromats. There's one right here on the corner, and then there's one across the street from me on my right side. There's a lot of laundromats on this avenue. This is going to go all the way down to 84th Street. That's where this is going to end. That'll be 6 miles. When we finish this walk, we would have walked 6 miles. I remember there was a park down here that my mother used to take me to and put me on the baby swings. Let's see if it's still here. You got to remember, back in the 1970s, 1980s, this neighborhood, and I can tell you, I witnessed a lot of bad stuff. I grew up too fast. This was the worst neighborhood, one of the worst neighborhoods in Brooklyn. Very bad neighborhood. Just think Brownsville, East New York. Back then, the two bad neighborhoods during those times were Sunset Park and Red Hook. And we lived on the worst, in the worst area of Sunset Park too. We weren't just in the bad neighborhood, we were in the worst part of the bad neighborhood. The reason I bring that up is that this park, my mother used to take me here. She used to take me in here as a baby, or like a 2-year-old, or she would take me down to McKinley Park, because Sunset Park was really bad in the late 70s. Here it is. This is the park. It's still here. It still looks the same. It's called Rainbow Playground. Oh, look at that, guys. You can use a city bike as a free exercise bike if you go backwards. So this is the park. It's called Rainbow Playground for the nice big rainbow it's got in the middle. I don't see the swings though. Swings are gone. They got rid of the swings. The swings used to be over there, right where the wall is, where the apartment is. See, there's like a guy sitting down. That's where the swings used to be, over there. Oh man, I remember these row of buildings back in the 80s, man. I had a couple of friends that lived in these buildings. Used to hang out here with my bike. We used to ride our bikes over here. Damn, somebody's got to sneeze. Looks like they're doing a lot of garbage over here. That's furniture going into the garbage truck. Oh, I want to see this, guys. I want to see this. Let's watch this. Knew that was going to happen, right? Well, listen, man, if you want half of a dresser, you go pick up half of a dresser now. That thing cleanly cut that thing in half. Usually what happens is it gets crushed and it gets dragged in, but that thing just totally split in half. I don't know if you guys just heard that noise. That was the other half getting crushed. Pretty loud. All right, we are finally walking downhill. I believe this school over here on my right belongs to the church. I believe it's OLPH. Yes, this is the school. Catholic Academy. I'll give you guys a nice rounded walk for this one today. I think at some point I'm going to switch across the street. There is a lot of people crowded over here. I don't know what is going on. We're going to be walking right by it. I don't know what's going on over here. Is it like a Goodwill, like giving away food or something? I don't know. We're going to be walking by in a second. I think it is. I think they're giving her, I think it's like a food market or something, or a food depot. By the way, we're getting over to 62nd Street. Got some like black market food over here. What the hell is going on over here? I don't know if they're giving the food away or if they're buying it. By the way, guys, it's not even fucking 8:30 yet. I mean, it is like... You know, the one thing about this walk, I noticed a lot of people out. I mean, normally, you take a walk this time of the day, and there's not a lot of people out, but there is a lot of people out today on this walk. You guys get to hear some of my unfiltered, unplugged language. What are you doing, guy? What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's trying to make a U-turn. As we make our way back, it's, I don't know, we're starting to get a little wacky and wonky on this walk. 65th Street, and I got the light. Oh, thank you. Very nice. Not having to wait over here. There's the guy that was making the U-turn. There he goes. I'll tell you guys, this walk has all of a sudden turned a little spicy. Turned it up a notch on this walk, huh? It's the Leif Erikson Park again. We're walking the other direction. And by the way, I didn't mention this, but we are in the Bay Ridge section of Brooklyn now. And that is because we are on the west side of I-278. So when you're on this side of 278, you're on the Bay Ridge side. When we were walking here, we were on the Dyker Heights side. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get across the street. Because the sunlight is over here, and get to look at some homes as we now make our way in to the neighborhood. We'll start to see the homes start to change again, and it should start getting quiet now. It's going to get quiet at this point. So I was crazy for a little while. Alright, so this is going to be Bay Ridge Avenue. We are hitting the 5-mile mark over here. 5 miles. We got 1 mile left. And it's going to work out so that when we get to the end of 6th Avenue, that's where we're going to be hitting the 6 miles. So I want to thank everybody that has stuck through this walk for the last 5 miles. A little salty on this walk, huh? You guys will every once in a while get to see the salty side of me. If you're a member, if you're a channel member, I do member only walks every once in a while. Those are really unplugged. For any of you that follow the channel and have been watching this for a while, if you think I'm a saint, I'm definitely not a saint. I try to remain as professional as possible on these walks, but let's face it, this is an adult channel, right? So I always make sure to check. Every time I upload a video, I always check that box that said this video is not for anybody under the age of 18. So watch at your own risk. I generally like to keep it clean, but you know, sometimes I can't help myself. The final mile. I just saw that tour bus drive by and I started getting feelings of Dyker Heights Christmas lights when all the tour buses come to my neighborhood to drop all the people off, to clog up the streets in my neighborhood to look at Christmas lights. I know this is, you know, a little early to say this. I know we're not even officially in summer yet. Summer starts on June 21st, but we are only 5 months away from that madness. Just think how fast the last 6 months have gone by. That's how quick the next 5 months are going to go by, and we'll have all the Christmas light madness going on. If you guys remember, last December, I totally broke format and I didn't show you guys. I mean, I did take you guys. We did do Christmas lights, but I didn't do like I normally used to do. December used to walk through all the neighborhoods just looking at Christmas lights. I didn't do that last year. And it wound up being my best December ever. So we're going to repeat that. We're going to just, I guess, go through the same format again. It's weird. This year has been a weird year as far as like numbers are concerned, like traffic numbers and views and watch hours. So the channel continues like every year we've done better than the last year. Even on a month by month basis. But December, January, and February, which is typically the months that I get the least amount of views and watch hours, it turned out being like a record for me. Like, January was like the best month I've ever had, which was really odd. January, we hit like 100,000 views or something. It was ridiculous. I mean, at one point in January, we were hitting 5,000 watch hours in a week, per week. And just to give you an idea, that's what YouTube wants you to have in a year, right? YouTube needs you to have 4,000 watch hours in a 12-month period to be monetized. And we were hitting 5,000 per week in January. It was ridiculous. We had something like 18,000 hours of watched content in January. I generally on average, like on a just average, I generally generate about, in case anybody's ever wondering, I generate about 2,500 watch hours a week on an average week. Below average would be around 2,000, above average would be around 4,000. So the watch hours is never an issue for the channel. I know I see some channels, like I watch channels that document their YouTube growth mostly, where they're just which is kind of funny. I always think it's funny because I'm like, they're documenting their growth, but they're basically documenting the fact that they're documenting YouTube. But you see some channels struggle to get the 4,000 hours. Some channels don't get 4,000 hours for like 11 or 12 months. I remember when I first started the channel, it took me only took me like 2 months to get 4,000 hours for the year, for the yearly requirement. It took longer for me to get 1,000 subscribers than it took me to get the watch hours. And they say that actually is a good barometer if your channel is doing well, because it's always gonna take longer to get people to subscribe. You'll get people that'll watch your channel and not subscribe, so you're always gonna get the watch hours first. They say if you get subscribers first, 1,000 subscribers first, and then the watch hours, they say that's usually not good.
Your shirt is gonna slide off of you if you're not careful.
Because they say that sometimes has evidence of bot subscribers. I've heard that. If you get 1,000 subscribers before you get your watch hours. Because remember, the psychology of a viewer, right? Sometimes it takes you a while to hit the subscribe button. I mean, I can tell you I have some people on the channel that originally didn't subscribe for like months before they finally hit the subscribe button on my channel. But they were watching my stuff for months before that. I'm the same way. Like I might watch a channel, I might watch a channel's content for a couple of months, and then finally I hit subscribe. I don't know why. I think it's because, YouTube does a good job of recommending videos, so you don't have to subscribe to the channel. Did you guys see that pink sanitation truck? That was strange. I don't know what that was all about. I'm actually going to cross over. We're almost done with the walk. Oh, I got the light. I was actually stopping for a second. My friend was speaking about YouTube and growth on YouTube. I was talking to my friend, and he was telling me he's like, you should start a second channel and teach people how to start a YouTube channel. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. There's too many of those channels. There's plenty of those channels. That's actually the worst. I mean, this is my opinion. It's not a fact. You know, everyone has an opinion. What do they say? They say opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. But it's almost more a fact than an opinion, because I've seen it, you know, in real time and looked at the numbers, and you hear about it. But the worst niche to get into is actually the YouTube growth channel niche, where you start a channel and tell people how to start a YouTube channel. Because first off, it's like oversaturated. It's like the easiest thing you could do, right? You just sit down in front of a camera and recite all this data that everyone else has already recited. So I told my friend, I was like, you know what, I could just incorporate it into this channel, and every once in a while tell people some tips and tricks, but I just don't want to get into that. All right, we're almost done, guys and girls. We're almost done. Couple more blocks. We're reaching the end of 6th Avenue. Basically what happens is the avenue just stops and runs into Fort Hamilton Parkway. So I want to thank everybody that has tagged along. We are going to finish up a 6-mile walk here. And, you know, at times I felt like I was walking at like 12 o'clock. But remember, we haven't even hit 9 a.m. yet. So it's quite early, and still a lot of people on the streets. And in case you're wondering what the date is, it's Friday. I want to say it's Friday, June 5th. So I'm going to end it right here in the park. By the way, we just hit 6 miles. Just hit 6 miles of walking. Got this little park over here. This is where it ends, right here. There's always a bunch of pigeons in here eating food. Alright, guys. I am finished. Well, the camera part is finished. I still got to do some walking to get home, but there goes our resident pigeons having breakfast. I'll give you guys a look around. 360 around. So this is 6th Avenue and like 83rd Street right here. Alright, guys. I'll catch you all on the next one, and I will see you then. So take care and bye-bye.